I will abide in thy tabernacle forever. I will trust in the covert of thy wings. Selah. Psalm 61, verse 4. David declares what he wants. I will abide in thy tabernacle forever. The word abide carries the idea of dwelling, of settling in as a permanent resident, rather than a passing guest. David is not asking for a brief visit with God. He wants to live with him. The tabernacle in David's day was the dwelling place of God among his people. It was the place where the ark rested, where sacrifice was offered. For David, the tabernacle represented access to God. So, his declaration that he will abide there forever is not a casual religious sentiment. It is the deepest longing of a man who knows what it means to be without it. Forever intensifies the declaration. David is not asking for a temporary return. He wants permanent residency in God's presence. This longing points beyond the physical structure of the tabernacle to something the tabernacle only represented. The New Testament makes this connection explicit. John 1 verse 14 declares that the Word became flesh and dwelt among us, using the same concept of God dwelling with his people. Revelation 21 verse 3 describes the last state of God's redeemed as God dwelling with men. David's cry is for what God provides in Christ. I will trust in the covert of thy wings. The word covert means a covering, a hiding place, a sheltered space beneath something larger and stronger. David uses the image of wings. The mother bird protected her young by drawing them under her wings, shielding them from exposure and attack. David has already called God a shelter and a strong tower in verse 3. Now he adds this image of intimate, close protection. The tower keeps the enemy at a distance. The wings draw the protected one near. David's declaration is not passive. He says he will trust in this covering. Trust is an active commitment. It is the decision to place the full weight of one's situation on God's protection, rather than on one's own ability to survive. David commits to resting under God's wings, rather than scrambling for his own solutions. For thou, O God, hast heard my vows. Thou hast given me the heritage of those that fear thy name. Psalm 61, verse 5. David moves from declaration to recognition. He presents evidence that God has already been at work in his life. Thou, O God, hast heard my vows. Vows in the Old Testament were solemn commitments made to God, often in moments of crisis or worship. David has made them, and God has heard them. The Hebrew word for heard here carries the sense of having listened and responded. God did not ignore David's oaths. He received them and acted on them. The God who heard his vows in the past is the same God he is crying to now from the end of the earth. God's track record does not change. Thou hast given me the heritage of those that fear thy name. A heritage is an inheritance. David identifies himself as belonging to a specific group, those who fear God's name. The fear of God is not terror, but reverence, the posture of a man who esteems God and orders his life.